Joining us right now, he's one of our colleagues. In fact, you hear him here on WMAL, of course. He's Ric Edelman, CEO and founder of Edelman Financial Services. His brand new book, The Truth About Retirement Plans and IRAs, it's out today. Today is the big launch day for this book, and it's been called by David Bach, who wrote the foreword. He said, "This is the best retirement planning book I've ever read." That's a heck of a quote there.
That right there. That's what you want to put that on the front of your book.
Ric Edelman, thanks for joining us this morning.
Great to be with you, Brian and Larry. How you guys doing?
We're doing well.
This is one of those things that everyone is worried about. Everyone thinks they're doing enough if they've got a 401k or if they put some money into an IRA. But people really neglect their retirement, don't they? And they start to think about it when it's too late.
Unfortunately, that's all too true. There's a lot of confusion. A lot of people assume that they can wait until later, and then they wish they started earlier. And a lot of folks are also still shell-shocked from 2008. Even though that's now 6 years ago, a lot of people are still have very fresh memories about how much money they lost, and they're fearful of investing again out of afraid they'll lose even more money. For all those reasons, people are not saving enough in their retirement plans at work. They're not choosing the right investment choices. And the difference between doing it right and doing it wrong translates to hundreds of thousands of dollars at retirement. And that's why I wrote the book. It's my 8th book, but it's the first time I wrote one on a specific subject, and it still came in at 300 pages.
Well, let me ask you about, because I know people in my family who are very distrustful of putting money in the market. I mean,
Yeah.
They really are afraid of it. I mean, they would rather put it under their mattress, or they'll put it in some certificate of deposit that's giving them a wee amount of return because they know that it's safe. You know, I don't want to put any money at risk. So what do you say to people like that?
Well, what they don't understand is that they're taking risk by doing that because of inflation. We all know that inflation exists. It's been averaging about 3% a year for the last 100 years or so. In other words, if you put money in a bank CD at less than 1%, congratulations, you're going broke safely.
Yeah. It's just not going to get you where you want to be.
Exactly. So we have no choice but to invest in the financial markets. I don't advocate for my clients that we put money into the stock market. I advocate it because there's, frankly, no alternative. So we're not suggesting you put all of it into stocks, not at all. To reduce the risk that something might go wrong in the stock market, we also use bonds. We also use real estate. We also use foreign securities, government securities, commodities, even gold and precious metals and natural resources, oil and gas. You diversify broadly among the entire global financial marketplace, and that is how you're going to be able to reduce your risks and give yourself the potential for getting the rate of return that you need to get to achieve your retirement goals.
Ric Edelman is our guest. If you're a frequent listener to WMAL and our Mornings on the Mall here, you know that you can also refer to him as a Rice Delman, and everything will be fine. We love that, Ric Edelman. I wanted to ask you, how late is too late to start saving for retirement?
Well, my aunt just turned 92. Other than that,
wow,
it really doesn't. You don't need to worry about it so much. Even if you're in your 50s and you haven't started yet, early 60s, and you're now beginning to think about retirement, you know what? You've got a life expectancy of 30 more years. So, you know, John Lennon thought that, you know, we were going to be way too old in our 60s, and the Who said that we hope I die before I get old. That's no longer the case. 50, 60 is now nothing but middle age. And you do have more time, but it's really important that you take full advantage of the resources you have, time being one of them. Don't dawdle, don't delay, because it just gets worse the later you go.
All right, so if you diversify and do all the things that you recommend in this book, people would say, well, what is my likely outcome? I mean, but the thing is that we're like for the last 3 sessions, we've seen the market go in the toilet. When that happens, it makes people nervous.
Which is why you need to quit looking at the market on a regular daily basis.
I can't help, I'm sorry.
What's happened in the last 3 sessions isn't relevant. Let's look at the last 5 years. The stock market's been averaging over 15% a year. Mm-hmm. The market has doubled in the last 5 years. Look at the last 50 years. We need to recognize we're dealing with a long-term scenario, such as getting our kids into college, or in this case, saving for our own retirement. It doesn't matter what happens tomorrow. What happens is what's going to happen over the next 10, 20 years. And you need to give yourself that level of confidence, recognizing there is no alternative. So in my book, I lay out very clearly, in the first part of the book, are for young folks in their 20s, how do I save when I don't think I can afford to? In the middle of the part of the book is for people in their 30s and 40s and 50s. How do I choose investments for the money in my retirement plan, 401k, 403b, thrift savings plan? And the third part of the book is for retirees. How do I generate income in today's low interest rate economy so I can, in fact, stay retired and enjoy my lifestyle? It's remarkably simple and easy. You just need to get started now.
Well, and Ric Edelman, specifically, you talk about IRAs here, and leave it to the folks here inside the Beltway to make things that should be rather simple pretty confusing. You've got Roth IRAs, you've got traditional IRAs, you've got simple IRAs, you've got SEP IRAs, you've got 401ks, you've got 403bs. I'm guessing the answer to my question is it all depends, but usually speaking, what are the best ways to go about this? What's the best IRA to choose?
For most folks, it's the deductible IRA. And boy, you're absolutely right how Congress keeps making it more complicated. The president even made it more so with his MIRA. He couldn't even pronounce it correctly when he introduced it, the State of the Union. It's so complicated. So, yeah, they keep making it more complex, but that doesn't mean it's harder. For most folks, choose the deductible IRA. But in fact, I'll take a step backward. The really best number one step is your retirement plan at work. Whatever your boss offers, 401k, 403b, 457, thrift savings plan, whatever your boss offers, do that first to the maximum pre-tax you're allowed. Then go to an IRA, because the 401k or whatever it is your boss offers is the easiest, most painless way to deal with it and will provide you the best long-term results you're looking for.
All right, so the new book, I mean, this is quite an effort. And I've been thumbing through it here, and it's very easy to read. That's the thing I like about it. This is not deep financial jargon. This is written in everyday language.
Oh, I appreciate that. I mean, I've been targeting the book for our radio audience here on WMAL, folks that aren't experts in the field of personal finance and are simply not even trying to become billionaires. These are just folks that are trying to figure out how to retire in financial security and comfort. And the book is laid out as best I could to make it fun and accessible. Lots of cartoons, funny quotes. Even the footnotes are funny.
They are funny, yeah.
To try to make it as accessible as possible. And with the book launch going on right now, if you order the book online at Amazon.com or BarnesandNoble.com, the book is retailing, I think, for like $12.50 or $13. And mail me or email me the receipt to my website at RicEdelman.com. We'll give you 2 free tickets to our seminar based on the book, plus a 1-year subscription to my monthly newsletter.
Well, there you go.
It's a big opportunity for people to get lots of financial education, and I hope folks take advantage of it.
Real fast, Ric Edelman, I got to ask you about Edelman Financial Field out in Loudoun County. We've got a lot of listeners in Loudoun County. Do you actually make it out there to Loudoun Hounds games, and what is it like to go to a baseball stadium that's named after you?
Well, it's pretty cool to have the stadium up and under construction. We're hopeful that they're going to secure the funding they need and complete the stadium development. They've been undergoing some delays because of they have not secured all the funding that they need. We're, like everybody else, a bit disappointed that they've run into these delays, and we're hopeful that they'll be able to bring baseball to Loudoun County. We're really excited to be able to support the county. Northern Virginia and the Washington, D.C. metro area is our home. We've been here for 30-plus years. So we're really excited to bring family-friendly entertainment to the community, and we hope that they can make it a reality.
Cool. Looking forward to going to some Loudon Hounds games.
Ric Edelman, thank you so much.